No, I'm going to read the book. Oh, you are? Okay. Well, we don't have the verse. What verse is it? The 19th. Very beautiful. Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradade Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradade Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivarikacharya Ashtottara Shatashi Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga All glories to Shri Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So this morning we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, entitled Status Quo, the glories of devotional service, and we're on
19.
text 19. All right. Na yujya manaya bhaktya bhagavat akayatmani sadrishosti shiva panta yoginam brahmasiddhaye na yujya manaya bhaktya bhagavat akayatmani sadrishosti shiva panta Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Nayujamanaya Bhaktya
Yujayamana Bhaktya
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Sadrishosti Shiva Panta
Sadrishosti Shiva Pantha
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya Bhagavat Yakilatmani Bhagavat Yakilatmani Sadrisho Shiva Panta Sadrisho Shiva Panta Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Nayujmanaya Bhaktya
Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Sadrisho Shiva Panta
Sadrisho Shiva Panta
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye.
Somebody from the group?
Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya
Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Sadrisho Shiva Panta
Sadrisho Shiva Panta
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya
Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Sadrisho Shiva Panta
Sadrisho Shiva Panta
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya
Nayujyamanaya Bhaktya
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Bhagavat Yakilatmani
Sadrishosti Shiva Panta
Sadrishosti Shiva Panta
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye
Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye.
All right. No, not. Yujamanaya
Yujyamanaya
being performed. Bhaktya, devotional service. Bhagavati, towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Akila Atmani,
Akila Atmani
the Super Soul.
Super Soul.
Sadrishaha,
Sadrisha
like. Asti,
Asi
there is.
there is.
Shivaha,
Shivaha
auspicious.
auspicious.
Panta,
Panta
path. Yoginam,
Yoginam
of the yogis.
of the yogis.
Brahma Siddhaye,
Brahma Siddhaye
for perfection and self-realization.
for perfection and self-realization.
Translation. Perfection and self-realization cannot be attained by any kind of yogi unless he engages in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for that is the only auspicious path. Purport. That knowledge and renunciation are never perfect unless joined by devotional service is explicitly explained here. Nayujamanaya means without being dovetailed. When there is devotional service, then the question is where to offer that service. Devotional service is to be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the super soul of everything, for that is the only reliable path of self-realization, of Brahman realization. The word Brahma Siddhaye means to understand oneself to be different from matter, to understand oneself to be Brahman. The Vedic words are Aham Brahmasmi. Brahma Siddhi means that one should know that he is not matter, he is pure soul. There are different kinds of yogis, but every yogi is supposed to engage in self-realization or Brahman realization. It is clearly stated here that unless one is fully engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot have easy approach to the path of Brahma Siddhi. In the beginning of the second chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that when one engages himself in the devotional service of Vasudeva, spiritual knowledge and renunciation of the material world automatically become manifest. Thus, a devotee does not have to try separately for renunciation or knowledge. Devotional service is itself so powerful that by one's service attitude, everything is revealed. It is stated here, Shiva Pantaha. This is the only auspicious path for self-realization. The path of devotional service is the most confidential means for attaining Brahman realization. That perfection in Brahman realization is attained through the auspicious path of devotional service indicates that the so-called Brahman realization or realization of the Brahma Jyoti effulgence is not Brahma Siddhi. Beyond that Brahma Jyoti there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Upanishads a devotee prays to the Lord to kindly put aside the effulgence, Brahma Jyoti, so that the devotee may see within the Brahma Jyoti the actual eternal form of the Lord. And thus one attains realization of the transcendental form of the Lord. There is no question of bhakti. Bhakti necessitates the existence of the recipient of devotional service and the devotee who renders devotional service. Brahma Siddhi through devotional service is realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The understanding of the fulgent rays of the body of the Supreme Godhead is not the perfect stage of Brahma Siddhi or Brahman realization, nor is the realization of the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Person perfect. For Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Akhilatma. He is the Supersoul. One who realizes the Supreme Personality realizes the other features, namely the Paramatma feature and the Brahman feature. And that total realization is Brahma Siddhi. Om Jnanati Vedandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Lokam Karivachalam Pangam Nangayate Grim Yakipatamaham Vandeshi Granti Taninam Lancha Kapali Vishta Kipasan Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavi Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vedigadara Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yeah. Get that book, please. So I'll read the translation again. Perfection and self-realization cannot be attained by any kind of yogi unless he engages in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for that is the only auspicious path. I just have my notes in this book here. So knowledge and detachment, right? This is what Srila Prabhupada's verse, this is what the Prabhupada's mentioned in the purport, knowledge and detachment. So as Bhajanarayan Swami mentioned the other day about his experience, I forgot where it was, and where was Bhajanarayan Swami based before? Yeah, I think it was Wisconsin. So he was there, and Tamal Krishna Goswami happened to be there, and then they were visiting a college, and Tamal Krishna Goswami met with the professor, and he asked him, "So have you read Bhagavad Gita?" And the professor said, "Yes." And then Maharaj asked him, "Oh, did you understand Bhagavad Gita?" And then the professor said, "Yes, I understood Bhagavad Gita." And then Maharaj said, "Okay, well, what are you going to do about it? Or what are you going to do now?" And then the professor, as the story goes, he kind of had this look of kind of bewilderment, puzzlement on his face. So what do you mean do? You have to do something now? So in other words, to understand something or to understand a particular knowledge within the Srimad Bhagavatam, it necessitates that, okay, there's some action afterwards. Something happens. So we have to do something afterwards. And what is that? That's devotional service. And devotional service to who? Prabhupada says devotional service should be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So of course, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is never alone. He's with his associates. And to serve Krishna also means to serve the devotees. It means we should do both. There's a saying that if you serve Krishna, then the Guru is pleased, right? That's because that's what the Guru is saying. So you should serve Krishna, right? Worship Krishna, right? Follow his instructions, all this, chant his holy name. And if we worship the Guru, then Krishna is pleased, right? Because Krishna's thinking, oh, this is my pure devotee, and I love him so much, and he's so dear to me, and you should serve him, right? Because this is a worshipful personality. So we have Krishna we have the Guru being pleased by us serving Krishna. We have Krishna being pleased by us serving the Guru, right? And if we serve the Vaishnavas, then both Guru and Krishna are pleased. If we serve the Vaishnavas, so the main thing is the service. So we see in the material world that no one wants to really be a servant, but they want to be served, right? So yeah, this is the interesting point, because people are wanting to be the master. They're wanting to be the master of a particular corporation or institution or a group of people or in a relationship, right? That's why there's so many divorces, because both of them are trying to be the boss. The woman's trying to be the boss, the man's trying to be the boss, and it doesn't ever work out really. But whatever it is, people are trying to be the head, right? And we see that this isn't a recipe for happiness. It's not a recipe for happiness at all. And in terms of spiritual organizations, spiritual institutions, this is also disastrous, because it goes against the basic, or the essence of the Vaishnava philosophy, that we are servants and we should act like that towards everyone, actually. And it goes against in the sense that things become mundane. It becomes mundane. Like the historical accounts of the Gaudiya Math, Srila Prabhupada's Spiritual Masters Institution, that they were fighting over what? What were they fighting over? Who was the head? Who was the acharya? And along with that, because that in itself is a mundane conception, who is the, right? I want to be the head. Oh, I want to be the head. I want to be the head. Okay, fine. But along with that mundane idea, there's other mundane ideas that go along with that. And what is that? I want the money and I want the property. And they're fighting over that. And Srila Prabhupada would mention years in court cases, years in legal court cases, trying to, in India things take time. There's court cases that take like a decade. There's so many people. But they were fighting for so many years, finding out, okay, who does the money belong to, who does the property belong to? So that's a waste of time. Now, so that's one thing, but that was on a big scale, obviously, and that completely, separated everybody and like that. But even on a small scale, if we do that, if we're competing with each other all the time, oh, who is in charge, who is this, who is that? Well, when it comes down to it, everybody's servants of Krishna, and we should all cooperate. That's when it comes down to. And of course, we don't have any property or money to fight about, but there's other things we could fight about, right? Or argue about or discuss this and that. But really, when it comes down to it, the truth of Krishna consciousness remains the same. The basic truths of Krishna consciousness remain the same. And what is that? That Jiva Sribhoy Krishna Nityadas, we're servants of Krishna. And also servants of everyone and in each other. So in other words, the facts never really change. They're always the same. The truth is always the same. So instead of just like the Gaudiya Math, they spent so much time, wasting so much time. So instead of doing that, they could have preached a lot. They could have done a lot. They could have written so many books, distributed so many books, whatever, went on Harinam, and they could have really expanded instead of making it, fighting with each other. So yeah, like I said, on a small scale, we have that opportunity, we have that decision. Will we compete and fight and argue and this and that, or will we use our time to spread Krishna consciousness? Will we use our time to spread Krishna consciousness? So that's the option we have. So yeah, the devotional service. So the devotional service is it's very simple. Srila Prabhupada, he's not asking. What he's asking from us is very simple. Actually, it's not some secretive, very difficult thing to find out. He's saying you become a devotee. That's what he wants. And what's a devotee, right? Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, right? Offer your obeisance to me, worship me, right? Think of me. Surely you'll come to me, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. It's very simple. You offer obeisances, you worship Krishna, you chant his name, like that. So that's what Prabhupada wants, and that's what all the acharyas want. And aside from that, or in addition to that, he wants people to become devotees. He wants people to become devotees. So we could help with that. We could help people become devotees, and we should. This is extremely important, and that we help people become devotees. We become devotees and help people become devotees. And why is that important? Because people are suffering. People are suffering. And Krishna, he doesn't like people suffering, seeing people suffer. He doesn't like that. Actually, he really doesn't like that. And therefore he comes, right? He comes in the form of, he comes and he speaks the Bhagavad Gita, he comes with so many avatars, he sends his representatives. Why? Just so they can come and have some fun, or what? They come to give people knowledge by which they become detached from the things that make them suffer. Because people are attached to things that make them suffer. People are attached to things like people are attached to whatever, all types of stuff. Drugs, People are attached to drugs, to heroin addicts. They're attached, and it's making them suffer, although they get little enjoyment in the beginning. Later it turns into suffering more and more. So they come to give us knowledge, the spiritual masters and Krishna, like that. And when they appear, it's just very beautiful, like the rising of the sun, very beautiful. Like Srila Prabhupada already appeared, as we celebrated yesterday. And then also the disappearance, the setting of the sun, also very beautiful. The whole life is beautiful. So, but the point is, they come and then they go, like everybody else, like all of us. We've all come, and then eventually we'll all go. We're all sitting here now, but in no time, we won't be sitting here. We'll have left our bodies, and there'll be another group of people sitting here, right? So the question is, in the meantime, with the time we have, we've come, and then we have some time, and then we're going to go. So in the meantime, the point is to help, assist in the mission of helping people become devotees. That is the whole point. Or you could say to preach. And sometimes, people may think, and whether one is more so like a Babaji or one is more so like a preacher, the point is not to be selfish. That's the point. Because you could be a selfish Babaji-like person, or you could be a selfish preacher, doing things for the wrong reasons, for their own personal enjoyment, both sides. So it's not that becoming either or is, obviously, that's what devotees do, either or do both. But the point is not to do it in a selfish way. That's the main point. But we definitely know for sure that to spread Krishna consciousness is extremely important. Krishna comes himself and does it, and then he sends his most confidential devotees to do it. But we always have to remember that what does it rest on? What does everything rest on? And it says right here in the purport. Devotional service itself is so powerful that by one's service attitude, everything is revealed. So, very simple what it rests on, service attitude. And as Prabhupada mentioned in the Nectar of Instruction, the introduction, he says that the progression, that one actually, or advancement, depends on what? The attitude of the follower. So we could be following the rules and regulations of devotional service, of bhakti, for a very long time, or for years, or whatever, lifetimes, whatever it may be. But Krishna is not obliged to reveal himself, nonetheless, just because we're following certain things. But he does feel obliged if, aside from us, along with us following, we actually do it with a service attitude. And then he feels obliged. Okay, I have to reveal myself. And why is that? Because otherwise, it's somewhat of a mundane or materialistic idea. Okay, I just follow certain rules and regulations, and I do this, I do that, and then Krishna, without much service attitude, and Krishna has to reveal himself. It's like a force thing. It's like we're trying to force Krishna, like, hey, I'm here, hey, I'm a Mangalarti, I'm chanting my rounds, and I'm going out and preach. Hey, well, where's the nectar type of thing? And hand it over, I'm suffering here. Come on, give it to me, Krishna. It's kind of like, all right, well, where's the service attitude? Where's the humility? Where's the right, like that? Where's the patience? Where's this idea of not just forcing Krishna? It's like, people come, Indian people, for whatever reason, Indian people, they sometimes tend to have money, right? They use their intelligence, they're determined, they get a good job, they get some money. So the temples are not a place where, the Indians just come in, we just, flip them over upside down, we just, shake out their money or something, But they're souls, they need to be preached to, they need to be made devotees. And along with them becoming devotees, they'll give their money. So it's not that we have to, have some weird ideas how to get people's money, just kind of shake them down or something. But naturally they'll give their money. Or as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, he said, you remain pure and so many rich people will come and give money. So in other words, what I was saying this is that in relation to Krishna, like having the same, same mentality, we'll take Krishna and forgive the example, but, pull him over and, shake him down and, get all the nectar out of his, whatever, out of his pockets or something, Or we'll take Krishna and shake him and, hey, give me the bliss, right? I want the bliss. No, but he gives it when, when he sees when we're ready, actually, when we see our service attitude. When he sees that we're putting our heart into it, right? Because that's actually when the nectar comes, is when the heart is being put into it, into the service. Not just when the service is being done, externally, right? Not when the mouth is moving and, the sound's coming out, but if there's heart going into it, then that's when the nectar comes. Just like we have our Madhava, right? The singer, Madhava from Mauritius. He always says in his kirtans, right? What does he say?
Louder.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he says. And yeah, louder, he's saying louder and from the heart. So he keeps on saying, he says that a lot during his kirtans. Why? Because he knows that, okay, you chant louder and the mind becomes captured by the holy name. And also, if you chant with the heart, then this is the whole point. And then automatically the blessings and the mercy of Krishna comes down like that, louder into the heart. So with all service, we have to do that if we want to be successful. And then, naturally, we'll become, Krishna will reveal everything to us. He'll reveal that, okay, we're not the body, other people are not the body, we're all spirit souls, God in everybody's heart, and so on, so on, so on. And he'll realize, and then we'll realize the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And gradually we'll become detached all along. So the detachment is extremely important, but detachment and austerity in itself is not the goal. But the goal is to have that relationship. But by developing the relationship, that automatically develops the detachment and knowledge. So, for example, we have people who know the Bhagavad Gita. We have some Mayavadis who know the Bhagavad Gita very well. They know a lot of shlokas, and they may even be detached. They may be very detached from sense gratification and like that. But how close are they to Krishna? We would say they're not very close. They're actually very far. Or what about the case of Hiranyakashipu? Hiranyakashipu was not very close to Krishna. He was trying to avoid Krishna. Actually, trying to kill Krishna. He didn't want anything to do with Vishnu. What was he addicted to, attached to, absorbed in? Hiranya, gold, and Kashipu, soft bed. But Hiranyakashipu, he was performing severe austerities. He was very austere, and he was actually, at least at one point, he was actually quite detached before he became attached to his Hiranyakashipu. He was standing on his tiptoes, like very long time, thousands of years, something like that, not eating, nothing. And then, of course, Lord Brahma came down and like that, and he got his blessings. But the point is, he performed severe austerities. He was detached, and these demonic personalities, they also know basic principles and maybe sometimes more of Vedic literature. Like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, there's verses in the Bhagavatam which, if you didn't know that they were speaking, you'd think some sage was speaking or something. So it's not enough just to know, and it's not enough just to be detached, but we have to know and be detached in relation to Krishna and Krishna consciousness. And then everything's revealed, and this is the auspicious path. We have a great opportunity here, and SanDiego, it's a great opportunity. Sometimes people want to join a Hare Krishna center that's already, you could say, well-developed. Means deity worship's well-developed, preaching's well-developed, temple's well-developed, everything's externally, and even the mood is quite nice. People want to join those types of yatras. Which, okay, better they join that than the circus or some other fellowship. But within joining a community that you could say that needs help externally and within the mood, because you could always make the mood better, that is a very special opportunity as well. Like Srila Prabhupada, in that Prabhupada movie, Shama Sundar was explaining that Prabhupada said he had invitations. He had invitation to London, he had invitation to Bombay, like that. And he had an invitation to Nairobi. You remember which one he picked? Right? London, Bombay, and Nairobi? Yeah, Nairobi. And Shyamasundar Prabhu was explaining that Prabhupada liked to go to the places that were kind of not so developed, so because he felt like he could give the most help there. It's an interesting point. So that's nice to go to a place that is beginning and sprouting, and maybe it's began a long time ago, but you know things go up and down in terms of needing help. So SanDiego Temple is a good place to be, and what to speak of all the whole SanDiego County? I mean, it severely needs help. So it's a great opportunity actually for service, and also this Kali Yuga is actually a wonderful opportunity for service. And I'll just end with this. This from Devamrita Swami, his Vyasa Puja offering. He's explaining that Srila Prabhupada, within his books and within his lectures, sometimes there's, he calls it a divine paradox, in which Prabhupada says something and you're not really expecting the thing he's going to say right after that. It's a little surprising. So here he said he's been meditating, Devamrita Swami, for many months on these particular passages from a lecture, these particular statements that Prabhupada made in a lecture in Vrindavan on the Bhagavatam 1.5.23, 1974. So, this is Prabhupada. So if you don't get anything out of this whole talk, you could just hear this, because this is Prabhupada speaking. So, Kali Yuga, people are suffering. Anybody could argue that? They're all fallens, all meat-eaters, all drunkards, all 5th grade, 6th grade men. They are puffed up, but actually there are 5th, 6th, and 10th grade men. Not even gentlemen. Therefore, my Guru Maharaj used to say that no gentleman can live here. The society is so polluted. So what does that mean, right? Should we just, after class, we'll pack up our stuff and close down the temple and move up to Badrinath or something, up in the Himalayas? And I think we'll have a good time there, you know.
You don't live the cooperating member of the society.
Yeah. So no gentleman can live here. The society is so polluted. So we could say that about, you know, I mean, SanDiego, it's pretty, I mean, it's all like this, you know, like exactly what Prabhupada said here. And then Devamrita Swami says, and now for the contrarian hook, the unexpected divine reversal. So this is what he says. All right, it's polluted, it's, you know, no gentleman can live here. So the Prabhupada says, but there is opportunity of serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because the society is so fallen, therefore there is good opportunity to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation is to reclaim these fallen souls. That's why he came. So you have got the opportunity to serve Sri Chaitanya, to please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he wanted the fallen souls to be delivered. Krishna also wanted, Ida hi Glanir Bhavati Bharata, Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata. So this is Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna comes. This is, God's business is going on like that. He's very anxious to reclaim all these rascals rotting in this material world. Krishna is also anxious. He comes himself. He comes as a devotee. He comes, sends his bona fide servant, bona fide son. So this is Krishna's concern, to reclaim all these fallen souls. Therefore, these are the opportunities. So it's an opportunity, great opportunity. I mean, it's a very fallen place. People need help. So it's not like a place where you walk out and everybody's, you know, you walk around town and everybody's, you know, whatever, wearing tilak and, you know, neck beads, and they're all out there performing yagyas on the street, you know, fire yagyas, and, you know, they're all taking care of the cows in their backyards and stuff, and, you know, it's not like that. It's very fallen. So it's a great opportunity. And Devamrita Swami, he prays, he goes to Srila Prabhupada, he says, "O Eternal Father and Master, you once described that a Vaishnava is the greatest opportunist. Now as an aspiring servitor of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna combined, I can more fully grasp the preciously rare reach of that bhakti opportunism." And then he says, "I beg for the spiritual strength and acumen to change my vision so that it aligns with yours. Seeking your unconditional service, Devamrita Swami." So he's praying that, okay, Prabhupada, you have a mood, you have a vision like that, and I'm praying that my vision aligns with yours. So this is what we could pray for, that our vision aligns with Prabhupada. And then through all this, we'll become naturally detached and full of knowledge and everything that we actually need. So does anyone have any questions? We're the next few verses, there's going to be some. This is the famous verses that devotees remember. Yeah, it's coming up. We're here. We've arrived. Okay.
So, when there's lots of quotes, which that Prabhupada said, "Oh, you're amazing with knowledge children, which conscious societies are most important business, or deity worship the most important business, or global distribution is the most important business, or this." So how do we look at that in terms of life?
Yeah, he did say, "Oh, you could please me the most by taking care of the children, but it should be in the books." Well, one thing is, when it comes down to it, all the services are supposed to bring us to the same point. Like Narantara Prabhu, today's Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, he'll be here, Narantara from LA. And he was the one that asked Srila Prabhupada in Atlanta, Georgia, with all the, few hundred brahmacharis and sannyasis, they're all there, and Prabhupada was there. And Narantara raised his hand, he said, "Prabhupada, what will please you the most," right? And, they're all there pumping out hundreds of books, and, they're waiting for that response, so they can get more fired up if you distribute books, right? So they're all waiting there, and Prabhupada waited some time, and then he said, "Well, if you love Krishna, that will please me the most." So whatever the services are, they're all supposed to bring us to the same point. But another thing, Madhudvisha Prabhu, Prabhupada told him, he asked him, "Oh, Prabhupada, you say like your question." And then Prabhupada said, "Oh, well, please me the most is if you struggle for Krishna." So we have to struggle for Krishna, not struggle for our own, whatever, selves, but struggle for Krishna. So that will please the most. But different devotees will make their contributions in different ways, whatever, farming, this, that, so many things. But the main aim is to please Krishna. And in terms of personally how to figure that out about ourselves, that comes over time, right? Like Prabhupada said, how do you know your nature? Well, if you like doing it and you're good at it, then that's an indication, right? If you like doing a particular activity and you're good at it, people say you're good at it. But aside from that, we know by our spiritual master, our Diksha spiritual master, and Shiksha spiritual masters. That's how we know. And I also could give you a lecture later that goes into that.
I know it's a little late, but wanted to share this with Maharaj sent out this offering for the Maharaj.
Okay. Oh, it's not in the book, huh?
Not in the book,
Oh.
it's not in the book.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I guess only so many could fit in the book, huh? This book.
It's not even the thing. Maybe if you wrote it, I don't know.
Okay.
So if I can read that.
All right.
Before you go into the comment, because this whole thing in the book, they can Maharaj say, it's bad, but, it's just sort of, let me see. So, that's in the Bhagavatam. You don't pick that up in the Bhagavatam. You get into the 12th canon, which you love, you memorize those verses, and you like to recite them. This short, long hair, and things look beautiful. And then just by chanting.